Hello and welcome back to another new teacher vlog. If you're new here, my name is Bailey. I am a 4th grade teacher in Michigan. The end of the school year is very quickly approaching. We have about 6.5 weeks left. We have state testing next week. Tuesday this week I was actually out in the afternoon. I am also 27 weeks pregnant, so I had an appointment for our baby boy and had to have a sub in our classroom. And then yesterday, Wednesday, we had a full day field trip, so I didn't even really reorganize myself after being gone on Tuesday afternoon, because then I was gone all day yesterday at our field trip, so I have messes everywhere that I need to kind of clean up, organize, get myself settled for today. Our field trip went really well. It was a lot of fun, but I am excited to get back into our routine today. As the end of the year approaches, we have a few bigger things going on. Like I said, we have 6.5 weeks left. Next week we have our M-Step. Our state testing will be next week. We're doing literacy, and then the following week will be math. In addition to that, I have mentioned that our school is getting air conditioning this summer. Packing up my classroom this year is going to look a lot different than it has in previous years. One of the things that we were asked to do is take everything down around the classroom, even on the walls. This wall of my classroom, I've said, does need to be completely empty. Cabinets, counters, bulletin boards, walls, everything has to be completely empty. All around the room, they've also asked for anything to be taken off of doors, taken off of walls, cabinets, because there's going to be a lot of dust flying around in the air and they don't want anything to get stuck behind things on the wall. So between state testing and needing to take everything down at the end of the year anyway, I have already started taking a few things down around the classroom. I do need a little bit of help this year getting things from up high, like standing on counters. I haven't been as comfortable doing. I have a counter over there that I kind of had to reach over and grab things to put it up and down. So I've just been holding off on that. I think that my husband is going to be able to come either today or tomorrow and help me get those things down. But I've been reminded that the end of the year is coming very quickly. And the other part of that is that the last week of school, when we leave on the last day, everything has to be done. So things are starting to happen a little bit earlier. So it's going to be a lot going on and it has to be done, like I said, before that last day of school, because when we leave on the last day of school, everything has to be 100% done and we are not allowed back in the building until we're reporting back to work for the next school year. This week we also found out that the second to last week of school, all of our student technology is being taken. Again, a little bit earlier than normal. Everybody has so much prep to do around the building to get ourselves ready to leave on that last day. And then our technology is being taken on the Monday of the last day of school, so I will not have my computer. I think I'll have my projector a little bit longer, so I can maybe use my laptop to project things there. But basically I am going into the last week of school making sure that I have everything prepped, making sure I really don't need to use technology just in case, and then obviously getting help where I need it in terms of packing things up, especially with all of this space needing to be fully empty. I'm definitely going to have to be taking things home. I do have a lot of storage over there, and I have a storage closet that I can utilize, but as you teachers know, we have a lot of things in our classroom, so trying to figure out where all of that's going to go has been on my mind. All that to say, over the next week I will be starting that process with a hard deadline of our state testing next week for things on the wall, and then we'll slowly get to the rest of it over the next 6 weeks. But for now, like I said, I just have kind of piles everywhere from sub, field trip, needing to get reorganized. So I'm going to do that, and I'll probably catch up with you after school when I have some work time. I brought this cute bag on our field trip yesterday. I'm pretty sure this is from the Essential Teacher. Then I also have this field trip rescue bag that I had put together. Things like tissues, wipes, gloves, band-aids, hand sanitizer, puke bags. This is the first time in 4 years that I actually had to use it, so I was very thankful to have it. I just replenished some of the tissues and things in here, and then I can put it in my cabinet to use again. You never know what you're going to need, and I was very thankful to have it yesterday. is done now and I'm feeling pretty tired and also really hot. It's actually 80 degrees, which I'm not complaining about, but we, like I said earlier, do not have air conditioning in our classrooms, so it's feeling a little warm in here. I was able to take my class out for a couple minutes at the end of the day for a little extra recess, so that was fun as well. But now they're gone and I'm just doing a few things around the room. I don't think that I mentioned earlier, but tonight I have a little ceremony. I nominated one of my students for an award, so it's the ceremony for that tonight, so I'm sticking around here for a little bit. I made these cards a couple years ago, so I printed out one of those. I need to cut it and fill it out before I go to the ceremony. I still have a couple hours, so that is why I'm kind of hanging out around here tonight. Figured I'd get some things done while I'm here, of course. I just live too far from the school to go all the way home and then come all the way back. My husband's actually going to come up. He's going to come take a few things down around my room. We'll go out to dinner and then I'll go off to the ceremony. Until he gets here, I am going to get a few things done though. I just went down and copied packets of math practice that I want to do before our state testing. Just some review, some things we haven't talked about in a while. I want to refresh their minds before we take our M-step. This obviously took a while, but it's done now. I'll do the card, and then now before he gets here, I'm going to take a few things down. There are things that I can reach around the room. Let's do it. Little update, Andrew decided to come tomorrow instead to help me take a few things down around the classroom. Tomorrow after school, we're going to go see two of my students in a play. I'll have to stay after school around the same amount of time, and then we'll go to dinner, and then we'll go to the play. Instead of coming twice, we just figured he would come tomorrow. So I am going to go off to grab dinner, go to the ceremony. Then tomorrow after school, I'll catch up with you with some more classroom projects. But I'll see you then. Checking in with a quick update for this vlog. Andrew was able to come last week and he took down a few things around my classroom, things that were too high up for me to reach and I didn't want to get up on the counters. So we took all of that down and then we started the M-step. We're doing things a little bit differently this year. We're doing basically just an hour at a time instead of starting right in the morning and going until they finish. So we've done that for the past 3 days, and then I still have quite a few students testing, so we're going to do it again for our 4th day. Today is Friday. We started with ELA. We're scheduled to start math next Tuesday, do the same thing, kind of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for an hour, see what we can get done. So I'm hopeful that by the end of our time today, most, if not all, of my students will be done with the ELA. If we need extra time, we have the time on Monday before math starts on Tuesday. We'll just kind of see how that all works out. This year, something that I did for the first time was parents or adults at home write students notes for the first day of the M-step, which was really sweet. I would definitely recommend. I sent it home a couple weeks ago, and then they were able to write a letter, a short note, something to let their student know that they'll be thinking of them while they're testing, give them a little bit of a confidence boost right before they start their test. I think a lot of them were feeling nervous, so that was really helpful. Other than that, we're doing a little bit of prep this afternoon for the math M-step next week. I think I showed you that packet of just concepts that we've covered throughout the year, just doing a little bit of review before then, just in case we forgot some things. Words like factors and multiples, converting fractions to decimals. We haven't done that stuff in a little bit. I just want to touch on that before next week. Next week, besides the M-Step, looks pretty normal. We do have Teacher Appreciation Week, Mother's Day crafting, our testing, of course, starting a new unit in writing. But my plan is to just start a new weekly vlog next week. I also forgot that yesterday I started my countdown to summer vacation. I've been doing this the last couple of years. I made sure to start it yesterday because I have 25 students and there were 25 days left of school, which is just crazy to think that we're down to the last 5 weeks of school. We really have to push through next week with all of that testing and the heftiness of starting new units, but once that kind of settles down, we'll be wrapping things up for the year. A lot of reorganization, cleaning, and packing up the classroom to come as well, but we can chat more about that in the coming weeks. I think that I'm going to end this one here. I hope you enjoyed watching a bit of our prep for state testing. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.